Okay, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Polani. Happy holidays still. Tomorrow, everything will be back where it used to be. The streets will be jam-packed with cars, people getting to their workplaces and to their shops and to their businesses, just the way it used to be. So, well, as we are today, the word is that President-elect Bola Tinubu and his wife are expected back in the country today from Paris. And so, I guess there are a lot of people who are going to be excited about that. He's been away for a while, and there have been a lot of people asking after him, which is not to say that there was any shortage of information, and he's being active in terms of communicating. But still, people wanted to know. We've not seen him in a while, and he was so much visible when he was here that I suppose it's understandable. Anyway, the word is President-elect Bola Tinubu and his wife, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, are expected back from Paris today. Okay, now, but talking about the election, which he won, and yeah, it is what it is. There are still those who are disputing it. In fact, I was reading in one paper that Senator Nnamani had prevailed upon Mr. Peter Obi to withdraw his petition against Tinubu, but that was just personal advice between them. Lord knows how that will be received. But if we're to go across to Plateau State today, I think we'd be touching on a place that we don't always touch, apart from Madam Ada, who calls in quite frequently from Jos. That way we get to hear something of Jos. But today we'll be hearing from the APC spokesperson in Plateau State, Mr. Silvanus Namang. Mr. Namang joins us via Zoom. Good morning to you, Mr. Namang.
Good morning, Uncle Ferrari.
Thank you very much for making time for us, sir. Okay. Now, I just thought that it could be interesting to, because we've been doing it for quite a while, to take a look at like the post-mortem, a post-mortem of the 2023 elections, focusing on Plateau State. Now, in Plateau State, the PDP won that particular contest. I believe Mr. Caleb Maft Twang, he was the winner. Tell me the sort of the attitude of politics in there. Is everything on the hunky-dory? Because at the time that INEC announced the winner, the APC candidate in that race to be the winner, there were also reports that there were 14 beavers and 14 ad hoc staff missing in the election, all of which gave some cause for concern. Tell me the situation now politically and with a view to, looking at the just concluded election.
Thank you very much for having me. You see, the issue of election, particularly in Nigeria, not only in Plateau State, is that given our situation, elections do not start and end at the announcement of results. The electoral process has met the tribunal to become part of it. So in Plateau State, there's still a contention over the gubernatorial election because our candidate, Dr. Nenta Oyilwada, in the end, is going to emerge as the winner because of the so many issues that came up during the election. As time goes on, I'm going to expatiate on those ones. But clearly, the APC, it is not right really to say that the APC lost the elections in Plateau. The APC, we can beat our chests that in spite of all that took place, the APC has produced the president-elect under the tutelage of the Director General, who is the Plateau State Governor, Right Honorable Simon Bakola Law. And we are very proud that a president has been elected under his director generalship. And apart from that, the APC, in spite of all the gang up particularly by religious bodies, the election in Plateau State was between the religious, some religious bodies who whip up sentiments against the APC. The APC was so stereotyped during the election, particularly the presidential election, where
Okay, as I said, Mr. Namang is joining us via Zoom, and dropouts like that happen. It might have even returned as we are speaking, but please.
Against the PDP, 243,000, and the Labour Party, which religion was deeply involved and applied for the election. In fact, at the time, the churches were preaching that the election is between darkness and light, and that darkness is the APC, surprisingly. And as it is said, that religion is opium of the masses. And that really affected our results in Plateau State here. It was worse with the gubernatorial election, where the churches became a political party campaigning vigorously against the APC. So they went into so many things that were not right in our electoral process. That's the use of beavers. Beavers were not used in several places. And apart from that, there were other issues, such as using clearly individuals who contested primary elections in the PDP as returning officers. We shall come to that.
For a fact. I mean, that has been determined to be a fact, because that would be wrong if it were true.
But that is really true. A particular instance is in Mangu local government, which happens to be my own local government, where the returning officer clearly contested primary election in the PDP. And he became, there was a collaboration of a sort between the PDP and the INEC in Plateau State here. If not, INEC should have known that it was wrong to involve an individual who contested election under a party against the electoral law and the constitution of our country. That is why mostly university lecturers are used as returning officers. But in this case, this individual became a returning officer and brought massive votes for the PDP in Mangu local government, which happens to be the local government of the PDP gubernatorial candidate.
What do you think this portends? Because there have been entreaties, sermons, advice that, look, let us try to eschew politics of division. It doesn't really matter. We're all either from, a given section of the country, or we're all Nigerians. It doesn't matter what your faith is. But apparently not all are taking to this. Do you see any dangers in this if people have to segment all these things and begin to vote along those lines, whether or not competency is in question? That is just your personal
Honestly,
view.
it is the issue is what took place has really caused deep division within the Plateau setting. You see, when religious leaders become politicians and preaching freely on the pulpit, you cannot question anybody on the pulpit. Whatever they say goes down. And in Plateau State here, it's so regrettable that we had that kind of situation. And the healing of the wound will definitely take some time. And this has happened in both religions. In some cases here in Plateau State too, there were allegations of some Islamic preachers preaching against the other candidate. But that of the church was so deep and so inclusive that it affected greatly the electoral process.
Because
and it created room for impunity.
Because Plateau is predominantly Christian. Is that correct?
Yes. They really clearly said he was a candidate being sponsored by the Sultanate, and that he was going to build a mosque inside the Josman market, and so on. So many other issues. And you see, all these things took place. But you see, it will be difficult to heal this kind of wounds because we are all Christians. The candidates who contested, the three major candidates, were Christians and of the same denomination, Kokin. And it was Kokin preaching against Kokin members. Our candidate, Dr. Netawa Yilwada, is the son of a retired, a late pastor who trained most of the pastors that preached against him. And now the issue is they are regretting because they lack what we will tell people now. And you know the injury has been caused. And as politicians, it is not yet over until it is over. Because as I told you, the tribunals are here. They have become part of our electoral process.
So if I understood that well, even though Mr. Caleb Matwang of the PDP has been declared the winner by INEC, that is being contested. Did I get that part right, or you are accepting, the declaration?
You see, as I said, we cannot accept that because we have taken our case to the tribunal. The tribunal is going to resolve all that.
Okay.
And as you know, there has always been this pressure on our candidate to congratulate Barrister Caleb Mutfwang. I think that is too early because the tribunals are there, and it will make a mockery of the whole exercise for our candidate who has gone to the tribunal, who has petitioned to begin to congratulate. And congratulations will come in when finally the tribunals have decided. When they decide, either way, if it is in favor of the APC, we hope that the PDP candidate is going to congratulate our candidate. If it is confirmed that he is the winner by the tribunal, our candidate is a very humble human being. He is going to surely congratulate the winner. Okay. After all, in spite of what has been said, all of them, the three major candidates, remain good friends. They see each other as brothers.
Indeed. But as you said, wounds, cleavages were created that we have to heal one way or the other following this election. Because it wasn't, this division wasn't there before the elections. It's elections, it has been alleged, that bring up these cleavages up and down the line. We had something like that in Lagos as well.
You see, these issues have always been there. You see, people who don't have anything to contribute to the development of society or the electorate, they always fall back to religion. And as I said, religion is seen as opium of the masses. It is the easiest way of deceiving people. And once they are deceived, you come back to tell them that what you did was wrong. And by the time you do that, a lot of damages have been caused. And that is the situation here in Plateau State. And you see, we as a party, we we have kept our calm over these issues because we know that these issues, the people who preach these issues do not really mean it. It's not from their heart, it is from their head. So now they are regretting, and we hope that with time, as our electoral process develops or matures, we believe that we will soon get it right where merit. We in APC were contesting this election believing that our candidate was the most qualified because of his past antecedents. But we didn't know that a bigger enemy existed somewhere to ensure that he matched.
Okay. Let me bring on our first caller today. Good morning to you, Reverend Dominic. Reverend Dominic, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Yori. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Good morning to your guest in Plateau.
Yes.
Yori, I want to start by asking question. Our president-elect, is he coming to Lagos or is he coming to Abuja? You know, as we say in our local palace, it's not government gig. Is he going to Agoda House in Abuja where he's supposed to stay as a president-elect before he take Castle Rock? Or is he coming to see us here in Lagos? Where is he coming? Is it Lagos, Abuja?
Well, he's coming home to Nigeria.
Okay.
He's coming home to Nigeria, okay. And you will know immediately.
Okay. That's right way. Yuri, I've said it before, let me say it again. To me, this election has come and gone, and we have lost some win. On the if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, this commentary I'm hearing from Plateau is good to me, but somehow. If the man insisting that they won, what is it trying to? Why did he go to Tribunal? The matter is in the court. It's supposed to stay clear and let the court make, a very strong decision. Because if he says he won, what if the Tribunal said, well, it was PDP? What will he do?
Well, he just said that they will accept whatever the tribunal says.
Okay, this one I'm saying that did not exist. Number two, most of these tribunals, most of the matters in these tribunals, it's not even about your conduct or my conduct in the day of this election. It's about INEC and their laws and the way they bring their laws. If I had him clear, if somebody has contested the election in a political party, which means he's a card member of that political party, he's not qualified to become an official or even an observer in INEC.
Yes.
But if what he's saying is okay, it's true, I think something is wrong somewhere there, if they can prove it. And this is the issue we had in this election. I've said before, I don't know how to comment on this election. In one break, it's one of the best we have had since 1999, honestly. Because it gives everybody, wherever you are, whatever you deserve. And another place, people say it's worse. I don't believe it's the worst. Because if it says it's worse, where do you put 200 election? Where do you first take the election at 100%? This election, honestly, to be frank, I'm saying this, people will stop me. I know people will stop me. It's one of the best we have had since 1999. But let the tribunal sort everything out. But this election, by myself, by me, I'm supposed to complain about this election as a person who supports, but I did not vote. But this is one of the best elections we had since 1999. The first time a third force to get 1 million votes. Go and take from 1999 to now. The first time a third force to get 1 million votes in the election since 1999. Talk of 6 million votes from the third force. I think it's one of the best. For Jagaban to lose the election in Lagos, something else somewhere has happened. I thought it's the best. But let the tribunal said to me, but we are moving forward. The election have won and a loss. I would say congratulations to Nigeria. Let's look for a better government. We have suffered much. Somebody say, people in Nigeria have suffered so much. Let's see if Jagaban will turn things around. Especially this Naira, especially this economy. Please, especially the security. Every day I had how blood is shed in Kaduna. I begin to believe it's not more true. Every day I hear how blood is shed in Benue. I begin to think maybe it's a media hype. And most of these things are true. How do a man lose the whole family in a day? How do a woman lose his husband and children in a day in the present Nigeria? My agenda for Mr. President is, even though he will not win in any day, Please let there be peace in Nigeria. Peace can only start in a good road. It's a man who is alive that can drive in a good road. It's a man who's alive that can drive on the train. It's a man who is alive that lives in a good house. The fourth agenda to Mr. President is what? Security, security. God bless him.
Thank you very much, Reverend Dominic, as usual. Thank you very much for that, for contributing that point of view. Now, Mr. Namang, I don't know, you heard there the Reverend, taking it from what we're talking about, then going off into a tangent as to the amount of work that the incoming administration, headed up by President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who will be president after the 29th, that he has before him. And give me your thoughts on that, given the tussling that is still going on at this late stage.
Thank you very much. You see, our democracy is a work in progress. The Nigeria project is a continuous one. I agree with him totally that there's a lot of work, and we believe in the capacity and ability of our president-elect to turn things around. You see, there have been so much impunity in our setting. We have to fundamentally deal with this so that we mature as other democracies, especially where we have copied from. But I agree with him that there's a lot of work to be done, but that is not to lose hope in our democratic process. As he said, this election that
Okay, he just got to where he was going to paraphrase Reverend Dominic that as far as Reverend Dominic is concerned, this is the best election that we've had, quite frankly, even though he said that he can imagine that there will be a lot of people who would see it alternatively, but he was speaking for himself, and he specifically referred to the number of votes that we were getting now as opposed to the kind of extraneous figures we used to be getting before. Good morning to you, Mr. George in Ikeja.
Good morning, Uncle Yari, and greetings to your guest from George.
Yes, thank you.
Uncle Yari, it is not only Reverend Dominic. The majority of Nigerians know that this election that has just taken place remains the best, viewed from different perspectives, because it has not been ever competitive like this in the past. Be that as it may, we will grow from it. What your guest is saying is shocking to me, that a known party man is acting as a returning officer. I don't know why they allowed that to happen. I hope it's not going to be like the case in Adamawa again. When you pointed it, the moment you spotted it, that's the time you should have, hit and insist that that person should not be a returning officer. Uncle Yori, be that as it may, last week I called your program when a Labour Party personnel was with you.
Okay.
And I was asking the person, I expressed my concern about the bullying attitude of Mr. Obi's supporters. And the person himself expressed his concern about it. But later on, apparently one of Mr. Obi's supporters from Jos saw the program and was lambasting me. The reason why I'm bringing it up is for reasons of posterity. TVC is the only station standing in Nigeria as we speak. And that is the only station that people can refer to. When I said what I said, even what I said wasn't true, I expected the caller to prove that it was not true, but rather she was using abusive language on me. That's the same way that the supporters of Mr. Obi are doing to VIP Nigeria. Professor Wole Soyinka, to the best of my knowledge, had gone to jail for 19 months for supporting the then agitators of Biafra. He is not known as a supporter of Bola Tinubu. He merely said, look, follow the due process. And they started abusing him. This man is a Nobel laureate. He was conferred with that title 39 years ago. Most of the people abusing him on social media we are not yet born then. Dati Ahmed, the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, can pass for his son. He merely advised him, do things in the right way. And then they start abusing, and that is the way they do for every other person. I am bringing it up here, Uncle Yori, because you should not allow that kind of bullying pattern to come to TVC. Such people are free to call, Arise, or Channel Television, where anything can go. But this is the only station that we know we can rely on for integrity. Please don't allow it to happen. This country must be repaired.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for calling in, Mr. George, and for contributing your opinion. But on TVC here, all parties are welcome, even those that some of our viewers might not particularly care for. But if they are in the political space, then Mr. George, it's not a new thing. We want them. In fact, part of the challenge has been that we invite people from, APC has been the ruling party for the past 8 years now, almost. And we invite people that are not of the ruling party. And for some reason, not all of them want to accept. So those that do accept, we're very happy to have them on. Maybe they think they won't be treated fairly. Nah, it's not the case. But I hear what you're saying, and there might be other people who don't agree with you, but we always say that those people too have a right to their opinion. I'm sure you understand me, Mr. George. What I'll do now is I'll take a break, but stay with us, please. We'll come back and we'll continue our conversation with Mr. Sylvanus Namang, spokesperson of APC in Plateau State.